Okay, so this is an updated review of the RACEPOW Lipo Balanced Charger. So there's a previous review that I did, and the unit was having issues. The tip here had started to come apart, and RACEPOW reached out to me and said, you know what, we want to make this better. We're going to send you a new unit. So I didn't even have to ask for it, and they just did it. So that bumps my review up for them. Anytime someone's active like that, that to me is awesome. That's one of your concerns whenever you go with a brand that you're not 100% familiar with. What kind of support am I going to get? So in case you haven't seen the previous video, this is a balanced charger, which means it can balance the charge across many different cells in a battery. So this is a 4S, so it has 4 cells in it, and it'll charge normal, balanced charge, which means it manages the cells individually, discharge, and fast charge. So out of the box, you get a bunch of adapters. You get like some clips and some T connectors with different things on the end and a strap. So in my case, none of those fit with this 4S. So what I ended up buying, and I'll put a description link in the description to it, is this 9-in-1 adapter. So it kind of has everything, including the one that I need. And then feel free in the comments to comment if you have experience with these. I also bought, there's an optional battery temperature sensor that plugs in here. It's got kind of a unique plug with a tab on one side, and I tried for a while to get this in. I wasn't trying to force it in there just because I didn't want to bend those pins. My wife gave it a shot as well. So anyway, these are 2 things optional. Didn't come with it. Of course, battery doesn't come with it, but you get the battery brick. Battery brick has a separate cord for plugging in, and then you plug in the unit, and whatever you last had up typically is what comes up. So right now it's for a LiPo battery, because it'll also do nickel metal hydride and NiCd, nickel cadmium. Anyway, this is your charge rate, your voltage, which will be based on the number of cells that you have, and you can just go through them. LiPo. You can create a configuration and save it. You can load one that's already been saved, and program, I have yet to figure out what that does. So going through the different ones, then this doesn't do anything right now, and then if you hit start, now it's in PB, but that's not the type of battery I have, so we want to go to, oh, I was just there, LiPo, there we go. Start 1.5 amp. Since this is a 1550, that's considered a 1C, or 1 times 10% of this, which would be 1.5 amp. 4 cells, which comes to a voltage of 14.8. And the one thing I just noticed is it does say charge, but I want balanced charge. There we go, balanced charge. All right, let's go through the same stuff. All right, so at this point, what you would do is you would just long hold that. So make sure red goes to red, negative goes to negative. Since it's a balanced charge, we need to plug this in. And it should only go in one way. There we go. And we just find the correct adapter. Make sure red's to red. And long hold. It's going to check. If you see connectivity error, then it means that you didn't connect these, which was a mistake I made early on. I only did the balanced. And it's going to show you what did it detect. What did you select? If these 2 match, then you confirm it by hitting enter. If not, then don't. Just hit stop. So it's going to start charging it. It's at 1.5 amp. That's the current voltage, 1548. it's balancing, and this is some sort of value of how much it's charged. So right now this is in a storage mode right now as far as the voltage. So some of the things that it'll do is it will discharge. So let's go back around to Lipo Discharge. So I verified that this works. So for a 4S, it's usually 1 amp. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to do a check, and it's going to discharge down. So I did do this last with this battery, and it safely took down. It took about an hour because I think I had to come down 1 whole volt. And it was discharging at a 0.1 amp rate. And then the other thing is it does have a shut-off and the timer. So one of the times when I was charging it, it did go over 2 hours, or actually no, I'm sorry, I was discharging it and it did go over 2 hours and it shut itself off because the battery was basically almost full. And there you can see that it had the temperature sensor, which I have yet to figure out how to work. But anyway, so with that said, there are manuals you can find online. I liked and I'll put a link in the description to the manual. I'm gonna stop this. And so yeah, in light of getting the new unit has a great charger. The fact that they reached out to me that's 5-star. I mean, you can play with this and figure it out. Just be very careful that your battery is the right type. Never leave it by itself while it's charging. And if it starts to swell, starts to hiss, then turn it off immediately. Take it outside. So with that, have a great day. That is the RACEPOW Balance Charger.